Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs.
Or at least they think they do.
I'll let you know a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard of my set of story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al.
No one knows just how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong.
Maybe it's because wolves eat killer animals like bunny and sheep and pigs. That's just the way they are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think people were big and bad too.
But the whole big bad thing was all wrong.
The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. Way back when once upon a time ago, our friend the wolf was making a birthday cake for his dear old granny. He had a terrible sneezing cold. He ran out of sugar, so
Walked down the street to ask his neighbor for a cup of sugar.
Now this neighbor was a pig.
and he wasn't too bad either.
He had built his whole house out of straw.
Can you believe it? Who in the right mind would build a house of straw? So of course, the minute the wolf knocked on the door fell right in.
He did not want to just walk into someone else's house, so he called.
Little pig, are you in?
No answer.
He was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake.
That's when his nose started to itch.
He felt a sneeze coming on.
Sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! What? That whole straw house fell down.
And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig. He had been home the whole time.
Like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw.
So the wolf ate it up.
Think of it as a big cheeseburger, just lying there.
He was feeling a little better, but he still didn't have a cup of sugar.
He went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks.
He rang the bell on the stick house.
Ding, ding,
Ding dong!
Nobody answered. Mr. Pig! Mr. Pig! Are you in?
The second little pig yelled back.
Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs off my chinny chin chin. He grabbed the doorknob when he felt another sneeze coming on. Well, he huffed and he snuffed.
He tried to cover his mouth, but he sneezed a great sneeze.
Achoo! And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's.
When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig lying right in the middle of the twins.
Wolf's honor!
Now you know food will spoil if you leave it out in the open.
So the wolf did the only thing there was to do. He had another dinner. Again.
Think of it as a second helping.
He was getting awfully full, but his cold was feeling a little better.
But he still didn't have that cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake.
Wolf went to the next neighbor's house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brothers. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks.
Wolf knocked on the brick house.
No answer. Mr. Pig! Mr. Pig! Are you in?
And do you know what that rude oinker answered?
Go away, Wolf, and don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole stack of sugar. But he still didn't have that cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake.
What a pig! The wolf was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake.
When he felt his cold coming on,
He huffed and he snuffed and he sneezed once again.
Achoo! Then the third little pig yelled, "In your old grave, you sit on a pin."
Now, the wolf was usually a pretty calm fellow.
But when he heard somebody talk about his dear sweet old granny like that, he went a little crazy. When the cop drove up, of course, he was trying to break down the pig door.
And that whole time the wolf was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene.
The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 dinners he had.
The reporters figured out a story about a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar from a neighbor did not sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down stuff.
Instead of the big sick wolf,
They made him a big bad wolf. That's it.
That's the real story.
I was framed.
But maybe you could loan him a cup of sugar.